Hey guys, it's me, Jackson. So, yeah, normally how this works out is that I have my friend Angel, and he's usually here with me, but he's running a little late. So, I kind of just decided I'm going to start without him, because I'm just that kind of professor. That's who I am, So, today, we're going to do a little bit of a special thing since everybody...
Okay.
Oh my goodness!
Okay.
Oh my goodness!
Okay. I made it. I'm on time.
Hey, he
how's it
showed
going?
up.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh man. How's it going, everybody? So
Hello.
you just starting the yeah. You're just about to start.
I kind of figured.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, you're late. So
no,
too bad.
I'm here. What did I miss? Where are we? Did we do the other episodes or which
You
one?
missed the intro.
The intro?
Yep.
Well, hi.
And you missed the movie episode, so I did that without you too.
Well, I'm here now. So and I'm Angel.
Yes,
and
you are.
and what? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little late today. But we're the Drink and Drive podcast.
Yep, that's us. Yeah.
And yeah, we're going to watch, talk, discuss.
Yeah.
Discuss. Yes.
We'll discuss. Yes.
We're a very disgustive podcast.
Disgustive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's your thesaurus.
Thesaurus.
Yeah,
your vocabulary, your dictionary.
vocabularo.
Yeah. So today we're gonna be watching What's New, Scooby Doo.
So what is new?
What's new? There's like quite a few things that are new, but we can't get into that until the movie episode. So
Oh, that.
yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah.
No,
That's a
so-
bummer. Mondo bummer, dude. Yeah, so today's show episode, we're going back to Scooby Doo. I decided to do What's New, Scooby Doo, because it's a great show. Just that, I guess.
It's just that.
It's like the more, I don't know, it's like one of the kind of the it's not really a spin-off thing, but it's like one of the things that's not Hanna-Barbera, but it's still very much
it
close
definitely-
to the OG.
It captures the essence of Hanna-Barbera. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, and then plus the soundtrack and the music and the intro, all that stuff is spot on.
Coming.
Yep. Yeah, there it is.
There
Yeah.
he is. Hey,
Kitty
Toby.
interference.
There he is.
There's Toby.
Hey, what do you want? What do you want? You're on my chest now. Say hello to the
Say hello to the camera. All right.
He was running a little late too.
He was. Yes, exactly.
On his kitty interference.
So Scooby Doo. What's new, Scooby Doo? So this aired pretty much 2002 was the in September, the first episode, and it went all the way
September the 1st.
to middle of July of 2006. So
Oh, that's a good good
4
decent
year
run. Yeah.
4 year run for 3 seasons. So
Oh. Well, all right.
yeah. So I mean, 42 episodes though. So I mean,
True.
like it's
And
a
also-
decent one, but each one is like
Also,
20 minutes long.
also for for the kids when cable TV was still a thing.
Yeah, that's what it was on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just
Yep.
a lot of repeats.
Oh, yeah.
and reruns of shows. Like even older Scooby Doo shows were being rerun still.
Yeah.
And then they
Oh,
had
yeah.
What's New Scooby Doo on top of that, and then like a shit ton of other shows that just basically faded into memory,
Pretty much.
It's a
It's all
legend.
nostalgia feelings
into
and
myth.
stuff. History
Into
became
ancient
legend.
tomes.
Legend became myth. And for 2,000 years.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah, so this cast is very... I feel like it's very widely known, I feel like, with like people our age. We got Frank Welker, who plays Fred and Scooby. So that's two of those characters. Casey Kasem, which is Shaggy. Gray Delisle, which is Daphne.
Rita Lyle's oh yeah, she is
Yep.
Daphne. I'm an idiot. That's Azula.
Yes,
That's
it
Azula,
is.
you guys.
And then Mindy Cohn, which is Velma.
Yes.
Those are the cast for them, and they did a really, really great job. I feel like just kind of like what we said before, capturing the
Essence of Hanna-Barbera.
pretty much, which was kind of like the whole theme of it, I guess. And I can get more into that, like with like the trivia stuff. Because for now, we'll go into our UFO, if you remember. Seeing what's
Scooby
new.
Doo. Oh man, like
That's what I was just like.
sure,
you're
2002.
yeah.
Like, like when it came
yeah.
out, I'm sure I've seen it plenty of times.
Yeah. And
Somewhere among there, like.
Yeah, and for the visual aspect, I actually do have like the actual discs. So there's season 1, which has them running around in a graveyard.
It's very typical Scooby Doo.
Yeah, pretty much like that. Season 2 is pretty much in the museum with a bunch of knights and a ghost on the back.
It's giving Cyber Chase.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Man, that was a good one too.
That's
And
a good
then
one.
third one is like scientific experiment stuff and underwater adventures. So.
Under the sea.
Yes.
Oh, you're glaring.
Yep.
You're flashing the audience, Jackson.
Whoops. But yeah, so because I got them all in one thing. It was like a bundle deal. I was like, yes, it's all 3 seasons. So, you know me, I'm a collector. So
He's a collector.
But yeah, pretty much. I think both of our UFOs are just like it was on TV.
It was on TV.
That's why I was like, oh, UFO's gonna be.
It's
gonna be so
yeah.
quick.
Everybody's gonna agree. It was on TV. You watched it,
Yeah.
or you did it.
Yeah, as like a '90s kid, especially, it was just like, yeah. Definitely.
I mean, would we even call it like are we considered 90s kids?
Yeah, we're born in the '90s.
I mean, we were born in the 90s, but we weren't raised in. Well, we were kind of raised.
That's the thing. '90s kids is the kids
It's
who
a
were
very,
born in
like-
the '90s.
You know, you're just packed all in there with all the other kids.
We're millennials.
Oh, we are.
Yeah, I feel like I
We're the
think
ones
so.
everybody shits on, huh?
Well, not anymore.
Well, because they're dying.
Yeah.
Yes, most of them are dying.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, not anymore.
We're inching closer and closer.
And then pretty soon it's gonna be us making fun of everybody else who's
yeah.
younger than us.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, I don't really give a fuck.
No, but like eventually it'll. Well, I don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna.
I mean,
go like,
I guess I should
care.
kind of care a little bit since I have a little sister.
Yeah,
Yeah,
a little bit.
A little bit.
little bit.
There's a little redeeming quality about you guys in that era.
And that's not much.
It's
but-
not much, but
Yeah.
it means just enough. It's just enough for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So, this is gonna be a pretty quick episode, actually.
I figure.
Kind of figured it was like kind of like one of those quick episodes where it's like we'll
can-
release something and
Yeah, we'll knock this out quickly. I mean,
and
it's fine.
like a lot of like
And honestly, probably to the benefit with me running late. So like,
well, it was just like that, and then like my schedule's been so hectic too, where like
Yeah.
I uploaded the last episode like really late. Well, 2 days late. It's not really late. Yeah. But I mean, my schedule's been so
It's later.
packed.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh jeez.
yeah, you've been pretty busy too on your own with
Yeah,
things.
I'm really busy. I can't wait until school's done, and then everything will just be like, oh god.
We'll get into that in the other shit though.
Yeah. That's just
all,
a side thing.
Yeah.
So we will go into our fantastic facts and where to find them.
Yes.
That's the space.
Wow.
Yes.
Space is
The
there.
final frontier.
and also that.
And also that. Eventually we should do Star Trek.
I'm sure.
That'd be so funny just to see.
I am just gonna be like,
like, what is this?
they did it. They did. Yeah.
They
he said,
did that.
He said it, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
I never seen Star Trek.
I know, exactly. Okay, so we get this from good old reliable IMDb because they're real. They have everything.
I feel like
Movies and
IMDb is
shows.
gonna need to like call us up at some point because like we've been giving them like a lot of like
I mean, I've been plugging them every episode.
So
they're just like, hey,
this is just
keep
free.
doing that. Yeah.
I mean,
But I like to like actually, like,
Yeah.
hey, this is where.
look into it. Yeah.
Because then I don't want to just say it and be like, yes, I read that
I read this in
somewhere
the,
online.
which could be literally anywhere because it's online.
Exactly.
But this is specifically for you.
So, from IMDb about what's new Scooby Doo. So, this is the first Scooby Doo series to abandon many of the classic Hanna-Barbera sound effects, which were a trademark of the previous series, pretty much of the OG ones. Although a small portion of the Hanna-Barbera library is still used, new effects were recorded and created exclusively for the series.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So they kind of ditched a lot of the old stuff for like sound-wise, and then put in their own. to make it more like realistic, like when they're running or when they're crashing into something, it's like
it's not.
Or
just
when they're
like
driving, it's like
I guess they gave it a little bit of an update essentially.
Yeah, it's like okay, well we're in like the early 2000s. It's like
and
it's not the 70s.
We're
anymore.
we're redoing a show from the 70s. So it's like we need to update this. It's been long enough.
Yeah, so it's like
30 years. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there were other reboots of Scooby Doo
plenty,
between,
true, but considering that they've been using a lot of those probably sound effects throughout those 30 years, too,
right.
Like,
it makes sense. We're like, guys, we've been using this for 30 years. We should do something else. We're still going to do cut and paste, like, oh, this is the monster and he's actually a mask thing. But
I wonder if we keep on doing this podcast for 30 years, if we're going to keep a lot of the same like.
No. Because we just introduced a new segment, too, with the whole...
That's true.
Unwind.
You mean a new show, not segment.
Oh, show. You mean a show.
Yeah, I was talking... No, I was talking about, like, if, like...
like an offshoot show.
No.
What are you saying?
I literally am saying, like, if we're going to be using a lot of the same sound effects and shit.
Sound effects?
Like, I'm just saying, like, what was the topic we were just talking about?
I was saying like the whole cut and paste, like, oh, this is the monster thing, and you're like,
yeah. My phone just went off. I'm so sorry. It's fine.
I was gonna say if you need to answer it, but
I could take a look real quick.
I
will answer that later.
Okay. Another fact: this is the first time since 1995 that Casey Kasem has done the voice of Shaggy. So, I guess he did one from earlier.
95?
I didn't really look it up. Yeah, 95. I mean, I guess it would make sense maybe if he did like one like first, like just to like try it out maybe, and then he returned back because they're like, oh.
I don't know if they were doing any like films or anything like that back then.
Maybe. I would feel like it because like Zombie Island came out in '98 or '99.
Oh, okay.
So they were already doing full length, like 40 to an hour long, Scooby Doo movies by then. So maybe.
I'm trying to remember if they ever dubbed Scooby Doo in Spanish.
Eventually, I bet.
I'm pretty sure they would have. I don't think I've ever seen them in Spanish though.
I don't know. I bet by like the 2000s era, I bet there was something out there at least.
I would say 2000s, maybe even 90s.
Maybe they got the technology.
We have the technology.
Let's see here. Okay, so one of the previous voice actors for Scooby Doo, Scott Innes. I think he's like one of the original ones. I feel like he's one of the older ones. He actually chose not to reprise his role as Scooby. So the creators of this series were thinking of replacing him with the voice actor who does Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Courage is great.
They were thinking about it, but that voice actor was too busy because
he's doing Courage.
Yes, exactly. So then they pretty much asked Frank Welker to do it, and he did. He's just like, yeah, sure, and then he did a good job. And I mean, it's Scooby, so I mean,
it's kind of hard to fuck up Scooby. If you can't do Scooby's voice, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't do Scooby's voice.
It's kind of hard.
It's actually really hard to fuck up Scooby.
Well, it's hard to do.
It's hard to do. Yeah,
Scooby.
I'm sorry. This is why I'm not an English teacher.
It's hard to do Scooby voice, but like if you do Scooby voice, it's like it's either like really bad or it's like decently close. There's no in between.
There's a slight in between there somewhere. Varying degrees.
Yeah. Another fact is that this series is the first time that Mindy Cohn voices Velma, and the first time that Frank Welker voices Scooby.
Mm-hmm.
So, little first time for both of them, and I think they did a pretty good job.
First time
in forever. Yeah.
Ree-hee-hee.
Ooh. Down with the do-ness. Get it? Instead of...
No, get out. Get out of here. Leave this show. Give me that phone. I'm going to finish the rest of this episode.
It's one of my bad jokes. I got to do it. I have to do it.
You don't.
Yes, I do.
You don't.
Yes, I do. Get it?
Anyway.
Oh, man,
like my jokes are better. Yeah, I know.
I forget there was like, wasn't there like a Scooby's original name was something totally like not. It wasn't that great. It was too much. Was it too much?
Oh, the original name of the show.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
No, Scooby's actual name was like Too Much.
No. I think you said the original name of the Scooby Doo show was Too Much. Yeah. And Scooby's name was like something wild before it was like Scoobert.
Maybe.
Yeah, it was something wild. I remember that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Too Much was the name of like the show before it was What's New, or Scooby Doo, whatever.
This show was actually released the same year as the first live-action Scooby Doo of 2002.
Oh,
yeah. So it was a whole Scooby Doo year. It was like, you
there
get a
was
show and a movie.
Honestly, yeah, I do remember that. Like the live action was kind of like a big deal. Yeah, back in that time, like it was.
And it was Casey Kasem too, in the live-action one.
Oh, he was there?
I'm pretty sure. Wasn't he the Shaggy?
Casey Kasem
in the
live action.
Live action. That wasn't him.
No.
No? Who was it?
Oh, that was Matthew Lillard.
Oh!
I'm like, what are you talking about?
Well, he did a convincing Shaggy.
Well, yeah, apparently not convincing enough. You forgot him completely.
I don't remember faces.
Oh my god, dude. I mean, wow. All right. Anyway.
To be honest, though, you're more on the faces remembrance.
I mean,
I'm only names.
Okay, here's the thing, though. It's just like, I watched a lot of TV, not just cartoons. I also watched just like a shit ton of just random movies, like that was on TV. I think, what was it, like another movie with Matthew Lillard was Without a Paddle. It was like a guy camping trip, and they all end up getting lost and they're like on a river and they don't have a paddle. It's like a whole thing. Yeah,
that's so weird.
It was a very it was a movie of its time. Yeah, I remember that.
He was in Scary Movie, right? Was it Scary Movie or was it Scream?
Scream.
Was it Scream?
Scream.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember he was in like one of the
I think he was in the first Scream.
The first, and he was one of the killers.
I just know he was like the guy who was like telling all the rules of horror.
He was pretty much.
Yeah, that's
anyway,
Matthew Lillard.
That's him.
That's Shaggy.
That's Shaggy
in the live action. I think it was Mr. Bean as the villain. Right?
That'd be kind of funny, actually.
I'm trying to remember if it was Mr. Bean or somebody else.
Anyway, one last one here is that this is the first post Hanna-Barbera show. So after pretty much the rights were given to Warner Bros. Pretty much, because they were already working with them to make the earlier movies of Scooby Doo, but this is like the first one, or like first show movie, whatever. After like they died pretty much. After both of them died pretty much. So so that's pretty much all of the facts that I had for this, because it's not like a lot. It's just kind of like, hey, this is some interesting things.
It's new Scooby Doo.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I liked it though because it was like the intro is really cool. It's like like all punk rock and things.
Yeah, it kind of
nice.
modernized with the times a little bit, you know.
Yeah, I was like, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And there's actually a lot of episodes that actually have that sort of
vibe,
like grunge rock, like edgy things.
Yeah,
it's just
I mean, also like that's the thing too. Like everything from like the late '90s, the '90s to like early 2000s was still kind of like in that like darker, edgier type of era, especially like not just like shows, but movies and music and like everything. There was like a little bit of that.
I feel like
edginess into the world, you know.
They knew what audience was watching Scooby Doo at that point, probably. Where they're like, kids watch it, but
it was just one of those things where like it just the popularity just kept on like drawing people in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Of all ages.
Of all ages, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And then we just carried that over, essentially.
Yeah.
Because we were just so influenced by it.
Yeah. I was trying to watch one of the actually like recent Scooby Doo ones. I think it's like Mystery Incorporated. I think.
Like the newer ones.
Okay. Yeah, and it was like a 2017 or something like that. It was, so I'm like, it's relatively new, like ish, and like they did okay, I guess. But I haven't watched the whole thing. I only watched like the first like 3 episodes.
I could only imagine like the vibe is completely different too.
It's kind of different. Where like so far they were trying to pair the couples together.
Right. I
So
feel
like Daphne was trying to get with Fred.
Yeah.
And then Velma was
I
trying
think
to get with Shaggy.
I do remember seeing a lot of that
Yeah.
pop up like on my news feeds, this and there, where like, oh, these couples are becoming a little bit more like. It was always just like never really outwardly stated or even really shown, but you kind of inferred and implied it a bit. Like they always, it was always implied that like Fred and Daphne were kind of a thing.
Yeah. But
they never outwardly said it, and like in the show,
yeah.
right? But now, like with the what was it, Mystery Incorporated? It was
yeah.
more like outwardly stated, as like, oh yeah, this is like more, this is happening essentially. This is the deal.
Like eventually, it would probably be like an actual thing that they would run into.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously with Fred and Daphne, I'm like, okay,
yeah,
like that's
we kind of saw that coming,
obvious.
And then just by process of elimination, it was going to be Velma and Scooby. I mean Shaggy.
Oh wow! Did you do that on purpose?
Yes, I did that on purpose.
That's a whole nother story.
Yeah,
that's another story.
I'm just gonna delete my browser history.
Yikes! Oh my goodness!
Internet's a wild.
Yikes,
time
Velma.
here, man.
I mean, Velma's kind of weird, so...
Okay, let's... yeah, okay. We're gonna move on. I made the joke. We're moving on.
Yeah, but, yeah, I was just, like, saying, like, because, like, they were trying to pair Velma with Shaggy, pretty much. So I'm just like, I can see it, but, like, I don't know if it would, like, actually be...
Functional?
Yeah.
Like, as a relationship?
I don't really think so. I don't feel like it. Like, with Shaggy and Velma, I'm like,
Will they, won't they? They kind of did.
But we'll see. I still have to watch the rest of the show.
It's not will they, won't they, it's should they.
Should they? Right.
Yeah.
They better investigate that.
So. I know. It's also because, like, they don't really have a lot. Like, they have a lot of characters that they meet, but none that really stick around.
Yeah.
Outside of the Hex Girls, I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta watch another movie with them in it, probably. That'd be nice.
My first crushes. I don't know if my first ones, but they were definitely up there.
It's the Hex Girls.
Yeah.
They're gonna put a spell on you.
They did. They absolutely did. They completely like enthralled me.
Yeah, they were pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of everything. I mean, it was a shorter episode, but like, what can you say? It's a repeat of Scooby. So, I mean, eventually down the road, maybe we'll do Zombie Island because it's up there.
I guess if I had a question for you, do you remember like other Hanna-Barbera shows outside of like Scooby Doo?
Well, I mean, maybe if there's like a list. I don't remember what they all made.
Because I can remember two off the top of my head right now.
Okay.
Well,
like
three
what?
actually. So I remember the Flintstones.
Oh yes.
And I remember the Jetsons. But there was also
Whole
another
shows.
Well, that kind of gives you an idea of like what my family and I used to watch when we got together.
Oh yeah,
because it was like a lot of Looney Tunes and Hanna-Barbera.
Yogi Bear.
Yogi was another one.
Tom and Jerry.
Flintstones,
Jetsons.
Do you remember
Johnny Quest?
Do you remember watching any of these?
Yeah, actually, I watched a little bit of Yogi.
A little bit of Yogi too. Yeah.
Flintstones, Jetsons, yeah. Tom and Jerry, yeah.
Oh, absolutely, Tom and Jerry.
Obviously, yeah. Looney Tunes, obviously. Trying to go through like the whole list.
Because there was a show that we had watched a couple times. Apparently, one from Josie and the Pussycats, where it's literally just like a girl group called Josie and the Pussycats. They're just like girls dressed as like cats. And they ran into like Scooby and the gang from time to time.
Oh, nice!
Because they were under
little,
the same banner. Yeah.
Cameo.
Like that's the thing with like Hanna-Barbera, especially with like the bigger shows. They would have like cameo appearances from like all these other characters to get you interested into watching those character shows.
Yeah.
Which,
I mean, they did the whole thing. Scooby Doo did the whole thing with like celebrities.
Yes,
where they
for a while too,
like an episode. Like they even brought Batman into one of the episodes.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm like, yeah, of course.
Batman and Robin. Yeah.
You would of course be interested. You're like, how's that going to work? Like, okay, I'm interested.
Like, oh, they live in the same universe?
Yeah, right. As a kid, you're just like, how does that...
See, that's crazy to think about. So, like, in every Batman movie, there's some group of kids driving around in a van, going around and, like, solving mysteries of people in, like, costumes, dressing up as monsters in the middle of the night, and trying to, like, steal, like, money and shit.
No, I'm dressed as a bat.
It's like, oh, crap. It's like these kids are like stopping all these like terrible heists from happening. In a way, they're kind of like vigilantes.
Yeah,
Kind
a
of.
little bit. Except during both the day and the night.
Yeah. And Batman's just like, I only work in Gotham.
Yeah.
And
But I mean, a lot of the times, I guess
this is shenanigans.
Scooby Gang kind of traps him at night. Seems like a
Well,
lot.
when everything happens, yeah, because that's like
The whole trap setup
Yeah.
and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Um,
Did you ever remember watching that movie? I don't know if it was a movie or a show with Scooby and the gang, where they were like doing like the big race with like all the monsters and
yes,
shit.
I have it.
You remember? Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I remember
the
that
reluctant
one a lot.
werewolf.
Yeah. I remember
Yeah,
that
they
one.
pulled like it
for-
was
yeah.
Dracula being like the head
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah. For whatever reason, like
Commentating.
that like stuck with me.
That was a really long movie.
Because like I don't know why what it was about that movie. Just I guess just the fact that it was like Halloween, Scooby, and racing.
Well, I think
like,
just like the whole fact of like the monsters being real for once.
yeah, that too.
I feel like that kind of like
it just really stood
Yeah.
out to me as like as far as like Scooby and all that stuff goes.
yeah, because it was literally just a Scooby, Shaggy, and that's
I think Scrappy
I
was Scrappy in there or no?
I'm trying to remember. He
been so long.
might have been, because I know that at on that movie, Shaggy actually had a girlfriend.
And they were just going on.
They were going on a date. And then
Yeah.
the whole thing
What the
happened,
fuck?
and- yeah.
What the fuck happened with that? I mean, I don't know.
Because Dracula was just like, oh, I need to find another racer for the race, and he's just like, hey, that little dude, he's perfect for
Yeah.
he's
a wolf.
mutation.
Yeah, he's gonna be a wolf man.
Yeah, pretty much. And they pretty much, I don't know how they do that. Like they put
It's been so long. since
something
we've
in his
seen
food or something. I don't remember.
that. I don't even remember.
But
It's probably something in the food that would have been like the easiest way.
yeah, but I do remember that one because
Yeah.
I have it. So.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, stick with me.
I remember actually watching that the first time, and I got really bored.
Oh, you got bored?
Because it was so long. I'm just like,
That's true.
okay, they're gonna do another turn, and then another.
I mean-
trap is gonna happen, and then the same thing happens 5 more times. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I was like, come on, guys, like let's go.
Well, that's the thing too with like Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Like a lot of their stuff was just very formulaic and
Yeah.
generic.
I get it,
You know.
but I'm like, okay, after the third.
Because
time,
like
maybe
at the end of the
let it
day,
go.
like here's the thing: circling back to the Josie and the Pussycats,
Yeah.
literally the same thing as Scooby Doo.
just
Same things happen.
Yeah.
It's just now
Copy
you're
paste, copy
now
paste.
now you're just with like a band, an all girl like themed band.
Hex Girls.
Well, yeah, but they're all like
Yeah.
cats,
Yeah.
and they're essentially just getting into like shenanigans here and there, like very similar to Scooby and the Gang.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very much that.
I don't know. Do you have any other questions,
No, I think that's it.
Scooby? Yeah. I didn't really have a lot of questions. I was just like, oh, I want to give some facts. I want to give some, basic.
This is one of those
information.
rare instances where I have questions and you don't.
Yeah. Lately, I feel like I'm just very drained emotionally.
I
and
understand
physically
completely because I am
and-
also very drained and tired and
Yeah.
sick and tired of this shit.
It actually flipped over. Like, all right, goodbye, guys.
We'll tune in next time.
Till next time, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, would you like to tell the audiences where they can find us?
Castbox. Anchor.
There you go.
Spotify.
Yeah. And
And
Apple.
Apple
The one that you have.
Podcast. The one that I have. Yes, those are the
And
ones.
also, YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube's a thing now.
I'm trying to post somewhat on time, but again, life and school doesn't really match up sometimes. So
It'd be like that, man.
the video format might be a little late.
Nobody's
sometimes.
gonna hold it against you.
Yeah, I'm just letting people know, because otherwise that'll, eat away at me. I'm just like, I forgot to mention that. That's just how I work. I don't know.
You just want to tell everybody everything all of the time.
Yeah, pretty much.
A little
As
bit
much
of everything.
information as I can.
A little bit of everything all of the time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yes. I am the encyclopedia. Anyway, see you later, guys. Goodbye.
Oh, bye.
Farewell. Goodbye.